I'm going to break your face, you big meanie head. Man, I don't know how much thought they put into Zoe Stark's promo, but more would have helped. Good goddamn Christ, that was really, really, really painful and awkward and very, very bad for live TV, pal. But then again, I don't blame Zoe Stark for being nervous. One, she's in front of thousands and thousands of people in Wichita, Kansas, and millions watching at home. And plus, Kansas, a state she's very familiar with. I mean, she was part of the first group of settlers that went to Kansas and tried to carry on their wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. No, this song makes no fucking sense for the wild frontiers. But she actually led an oxen wagon train over to Kansas with the materials to help build the first house, the first post office, the first little bit of the hamlet that would grow into the great lengthy state of Kansas, where there really isn't much of anything. And man, Zoe was haunted by that trek because a lot of the crew died of dysentery. Nevertheless, I'm John Reitman with my review WWE Raw from Wichita, Kansas. I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore because unless you were in attendance or you live in the state of Kansas, you're not in the state of Kansas anymore. And Zoe's Stark jokes aside, don't worry, there won't be any more in this review. I promise. I absolutely promise. But we are rolling towards Money in the Bank. I want to once again say I'm not going to be watching that live. I'm not missing out on work to watch that show, and I'm really worried about that card. I'm really, really nervous. I think the UK crowd will be pretty goddamn electric. You know, Zoe Stark was around when electricity was first invented. So anyway, there's ladders all around the stage. Now Rhea comes down and steps on the ramp. I wish I was that ramp. Nevertheless, Rhea comes out looking great. Pierce's in the ring, presents the WWE Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Or Women's World Championship, or whatever. It's just more gaudy, ridiculous belt designs that all look the same. Now, you know what? They're addressing the whole Raw SmackDown thing. They're trying to make it, not brand exclusive, so they don't have to establish brand white supremacy. I may have said that wrong. But she's the champion. Here comes Dominic out, and he straps her before she straps him. There's a joke right there. Somebody will get that in the comments. And here's Cody. Whoa! Yeah. Mr. Insincere himself, the Insincere American Nightmare. I'll workshop that, much like Cody workshops his promos. Okay, recaps of the stuff with Cody and Dominic. And look, the crowd was booing Dominic. They were cheering Cody. They were doing everything they were supposed to do. A lot of times the crowd was into this show. There were times they weren't, and I really don't blame them, honestly. They're going to have a match at Money in the Bank. Cody and Dominic. Good Lord. I mean, there are people looking forward to that, and that's fine. Cody's a good worker, and Dominic is getting a lot of heat, a lot of anger from the crowd. I have no desire to see this because I know it's going to lead to Brandi showing up and stopping Rhea. Or at least confronting Rhea. Nobody wants that. I don't want that. Why in the world would I want to see that? I just fear that's what they're going to do, and that's going to turn some of the fans against Cody, because Brandi's just that kind of heat-seeking magnet. She's also not very good. She definitely isn't cut out for wrestling. But this got the proper reactions, and then Miz tries to attack, and we get a bit of a melee. We go to break, and we go immediately to Cody and Miz after the break. And match is fine. Match is fine for what it was. Here's the problem. I do not buy into any Cody shit. I don't. People like him. That's okay. I don't wish any ill upon him. I don't wish any ill upon the Miz. A Cody Miz match in 2023, I'm sorry. It doesn't interest me. It just doesn't. It was well worked enough. Crossroads, 1, 2, 3. Becky sees Owens and Zayn, and then sees Chad Gabriel, as one of my friends called him, and that is his name now. His name is Chad Gabriel. He's like the fallen angel Gabriel. I think that anybody in creative that came up with the Chad Gable character and decides to make him act like a goof instead of a serious wrestler really should end up like the fallen angel Gabriel, except lock him in the pits of hell. But nevertheless, yeah, so we have Chad Gabriel and Otis and Maxine, who is doing her best WCW Nitro Girl impression. Except the Nitro Girls didn't last as long on television, and quite frankly, we're using better storylines. So Becky goes to the ring. Becky looks tremendous. My God, she looks great. She talks about the Money in the Bank briefcase, talking about they who holds the briefcase holds the power. I need power, absolute power. And then Zoe coming out after Becky says she got tongue-tied, so she's going to get tongue-tied and wants to top Chelsea while Sonya watches. But first, Zoe comes out. You know, Zoe actually was around when Dorothy's great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents were not in Kansas, because at that point Kansas wasn't even thought of, but they were in the Old West. I mean, it's just... I just don't understand it. I mean, you know, Zoe, she remembers the original Wicked Witch of the West when the wizard was just a young pup. In fact, she remembers the first Munchkin being born. I will stop these jokes one of these days, except I can't. I simply can't. This was excruciating. Whoever thought that giving Zoe Stark a live mic was a good idea, they need to be punched, or at least sent into, I don't know, maybe an alligator-infested pit. Do they have those in Kansas? Just send them into the state of Kansas. That'll be enough. I've never actually been to Kansas. I've just heard there isn't really a whole lot to it. They have the Jayhawks. I know that much. So, this was bad. This was really bad. Never give Zoe a live mic again. Please, never give her a live mic. And then Becky beat Chelsea. Zoe was on a ladder. Fitting, because she remembers when the first ladder was created. She actually helped create the first ladder. Again, I will stop these jokes one day. Becky won. Zoe forgot how to get down from the ladder, seemingly. I'm just staying up here and shit, I forgot how to get down. Memory issues happen at that age, though. Anyway, Priest and Judgment Day, they're backstage, and Priest says, I want to go at it alone. And Balor's like, why would you want to go at it alone? I don't think Balor actually talked that way. Rhea looked great, by the way. Priest took on Riddle in the Money in the Bank qualifier. There wasn't a third person in it. Well, there was a referee, so of course Priest and Riddle are going to be doing a tag team thing. If you get it, you get it. And here's the thing. It was well worked. Riddle can work. I just don't give a shit about the guy, and I find him personally to be, sick and disgusting. Really don't want to see him. I don't want to see him at all. Crowd was into it, though. We got some good near falls. Some good moves, but again, Riddle, and then we got the Razor's Edge variation. 1, 2, 3. Priest won. Okay, and then Gunther and Kaiser show up. This is because Vinci is selling the ankle injury from last week when Riddle attacked him. And then Priest told two men to pick his old tag partner's bones. Pick his bones. And then grind his bones to make your bread. Pick his bones clean. Keep fondling Riddle's bones. I'm going to keep saying this stuff until it's as uncomfortable as it is for me to think about. But they beat him up, and there you go. That was something. I'm going to say right now, if they have Riddle beat Gunther before he beats the Intercontinental Championship record, you might as well just scrap the Intercontinental Championship. Because it'll undo every single bit of good work that Gunther has done. Have him beat the record, and then if you want to have Riddle beat him after that, fine. But do not have Riddle beat him before that. We are so close. Again, if Steamboat had just held the championship until SummerSlam, Gunther would have already beaten the record. And we would have a proper all-time, reigning champion. But nevertheless. Kathy Kelly looked great. Cody was talking. I want him to say the word priest a few more times. It's typical Cody promo. It is what it is. Natty was talking to Byron. I half expected her to lock him in the sharpshooter. And then Zayn and Owens and Imperium are talking. Owens keeps snapping. I was hoping that Kaiser said confident and not confident. If you heard it, believe me, hearing a German say that, like, But nevertheless, recaps of the Bloodline stuff. And then Jinder Mahal is here. Well, backstage in a smoke-filled arena. I do have one question. Why is everything smoke-filled? Why does Frank refuse to turn off the smoke machine? Damn it, Frank, you had one job. Longtime viewers will get that. Or you still don't get it, even if you're a longtime viewer. Here comes Bronson. Now he's going down to Trevor's Fix-A-Shop to fix Trevor. Trevor Man, a.k.a. Ricochet. Power versus Speed. Nakamura shows up. Hey, Pride Month plug with Sonya. Let me just say right now that if you're against people being included and being able to live as they are, and you are against pride displays in stores, because think of the children. Yeah, protect children. Look at how the children are being attacked. Look at who the children are being attacked by. A lot of pastors and a lot of bad people. Not drag queens or transsexuals. So yeah, if you think that way, fuck off. So anyway, let's just say love is love. Let people be who they are. And you're born gay, by the way, even if you don't realize it for a number of years. Gay, LGBTQ, doesn't matter. It may take a while for you to admit it to yourself or realize that about yourself, but you're born that way. There you go. Anyway, match was fine enough. Ricochet hit and ran. Nakamura then got attacked by Bronson when Here Comes Ricochet, right from Here Comes Bronson, and then Nakamura interfered, causing a DQ. Trevor was upset, aka Ricochet, and then Bronson flattens them both. Goes for a tsunami. Ricochet hits him, and then they hit a double superplex. Big pop. There you go. Holy. And then Pierce is on the phone. Ricochet interrupts. He wants a rematch with Here Comes Bronson, but Nakamura gets that. And then they argue about, no, I want Here Comes Bronson. No, I want Here Comes Bronson. And there you go. His name is Here Comes Bronson, by the way, because I just can't unhear it now. And Balor calls out Seth Pheasant Rollins. They sing over Balor's promo, they be in the crowd. And look, there were elements of this I liked. It took a while to get there, though. Not just because of the crowd. It took a while. They're referencing the stuff from almost 7 years ago when Balor suffered the torn pec, the torn tricep, the torn labia. I think that's what it was, and anal bleeding. What? Wow. But all this stuff, they did some good stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking the verbiage at points, but this took a while. I'm not as into this as other people. Now, I appreciate they're trying to do long-term storytelling. Maybe we get the evil Balor coming back, because the Demon Balor was basically killed off at Extreme Rules 2021 when the music brought him back to life. It was stupid. That was stupid. Why did they do that? And they kept singing, Balor vows revenge. Which Balor will show up? Will the real Finn Balor please stand up? I mean, if he could sit down. He could still be taller than, well, Zelina or J.D. McTuna. But nevertheless, Raquel against Shayna Baszler, and it took me as long to say those names as it did for this match to happen. Rousey helped, in theory, do a roll-up, or help, Shayna hold a roll-up. So Shayna actually rolled somebody up instead of getting rolled up. Rousey, the Sandy Hook truther, really, quite frankly, should not be on a WWE program because she's not motivated. Even if she was, I don't think there's any saving the tag team division. I stand by everything I said, and if that bothers people, too bad. Look at the facts. You can be a good athlete, a great athlete even, and you could still be a piece of shit. So anyway, yeah, roll up 1, 2, 3. Nothing of consequence. The women did not get a lot on this show. And in the Iron Sheik package, Freddie Blassie was having, well, a blast. That was insensitive. And I ran so far away. Okay. And then Gable with the Goons took on Eric with the Goons. Kill every bit of this with fire. Fuck everybody involved in this. At one point, they had Maxine throw Valhalla because Valhalla is deer. Hey, Gable won, and it didn't mean anything because they've already wasted too much time on Gable doing this goofy stuff that doesn't mean anything. And I like Gable. I just can't get invested because I hate the character. Is it as bad as Shorty G? Yeah, actually it is. So anyway, package on Rhea. Balor is talking to J.D. McTuna with his frickin' Easter Island 5 head. Priest is like, hey, if I win the briefcase, don't worry, I won't cash in on you. But if you win the world title, make good on your promise to me. Tension. Owens and Zayn make their entrance, then we go to break. Kathy interviews Seth. Kathy looks great. Fucking incredible. Logan Paul returns next week. I'm going to say right now, I appreciate that Logan Paul takes things seriously, but the well runneth dry. I don't know what they're going to do. They might do him and Seth again. I think that's a bad idea. I don't think you need to do him and Seth again. There's a possibility of him versus Bad Bunny. Dear God. You had to make that a short gimmick match. But then we get Zayn and Owens against Gunther and Kaiser Tag Team Championship match, and it was good. The crowd was into it. My problem is I've kind of cooled off on Owens and Zayn. This stuff with the bloodline, all this stuff, the continuation of stuff with the bloodline just seems to kind of be, it's kind of made me not want to see them. I think the crowd kind of also wanted to see Gunther get the pin, at least at a couple points. And then the finish got messy because Riddle comes down. There's a bunch of agents and people and everything. Gunther runs and boots him, but then Owens DDTs him on the ramp. And then Zayn hits a blue thunderbomb. 1, 2, 3. So, okay. It's a bit surprising. We managed to go through that and get to that point. A blue thunderbomb won a match in 2023. Wild. Again, just have Gunther break the record. And then have him drop it if you want. But then at least the record belongs to a wrestler, not the honky-tonk man. That being said, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Recklin. I'll see you soon.